So if you've been growing for any length of time, you've probably heard that organic is actually better to grow. You'll get better yields, you'll get better terpene profiles, you'll get a healthier plant if you grow organic rather than growing synthetic. Now, we're going to get into whether scientific literature is currently suggesting if that is true or not, and whether it is better in my opinion. One thing I do want to mention is that I stream at twitch.tv/cannabisexpress420 on a pretty regular basis, almost daily at 7 Eastern Standard Time. Obviously, this is an exception because I'm doing a filming day, but I will also be on later. So if you guys want to go hit that link down below, join me over there, hit the follow button to get notified when I'm streaming, but let's get on with it. So growing organics versus growing synthetic, which is better? What does the scientific literature say? What is the facts behind if organics is better or if synthetic is better to grow in? Now, this can go really both ways, and I'm going to get to why in a second, but it can really go both ways. One can be better than the other. So let's get that out of the way. It all depends on how you use them. And the reason that is because of this factor. Organic material breaks down into the same chemicals and minerals that synthetic nutrients are made of. So for example, with nitrogen, we all know nitrogen, we all need nitrogen. Sometimes we add too much nitrogen, but there are 3 types of nitrogen. I can't remember them off the top of my head, but there are 3 main types of nitrogen. Your plant, your microbes, your soil need all of them. But the nitrogen that is in a CalMag bottle, for example, is the same nitrogen that will be coming from something of an organic matter. It's the same chemical. It's the same nitrogen. It's just extracted. Now, the reason that is important is because one can be better than the other based on how you personally grow. Now, why that is because if I grow synthetic and I do a full grow through and my chemical balance is imbalanced and I have too much of something, let's say I have too much nitrogen, my leaves will turn really dark green and shiny. And if I have too much potassium, I could run into problems in the veg stage and in the flower stage. It'd stunt my growth, I'll change the color of my leaves, they'll shrivel up, they won't be healthy, they won't be happy. But you can do the same thing with organic grows if you don't get your balance correct. Now, it's up to debate whether it's better for the environment to grow synthetic rather than organic, because in both, in synthetic, there are actually a lot more minerals than there would be in an organic grow. You don't have as many minerals, but the organic matter is still made up of minerals. It's just that a mineral-based nutrient that needs minerals in it to be soluble and also needs minerals in it to give your plant what it needs. It has a lot more minerals in it than the organics would, and it's a lot more concentrated than the organics would be because you can reuse the organics, and that's important also. If you want to be able to reuse your soil, I would go with the organics route just to make it easier. But if you are okay with using new soil every time, or maybe even making organic soil to grow another garden outdoors with your previously used synthetic nutrients, you can obviously flush those out and then make a compost pile out of the old soil. As when you're growing in peat moss and growing synthetically, you probably don't want to put too much of the flowering nutrients into the newer soil and then give your seedling problems or give an early veg plant problems. So I would go into flushing it out and then making it into an organic medium if you would desire to. But I digress. So as to address, is it better for the terpene profile? Is it better for the yield? The answer is no. Organics and synthetics, given a proper balance for that specific cultivar, for that specific pheno, will outperform any imbalance, whether it's from an organic or synthetic standpoint. If you have imbalance in either, you're going to mess up your grow, you're going to stunt your plant, you're going to give it problems, you're potentially going to kill it. Whereas if you have a balance, you can grow a healthy plant and that cultivar will perform 100%. It just depends on getting your balance correct, using the correct nutrients, and using a quality lineup if you go the synthetic route. And that's all that matters for your terpene profile. That's all that matters for your yield. That's all that matters for your health, is that you have a good balance. And if you have the good balance, it'll show in the smoke, it'll show in the yield, it'll show in the health of the plant, it'll show in every aspect of the grow if you have a healthy balance. Now, I don't know why this is super up for debate, or if people think that they're going to get some kind of 5% increase in yield or increase in terpenes if they grow organically, but you see beautiful grows in both synthetic and organic, and that's very well documented at the maturity of the internet and also YouTube. You can just look these things up, and it's very easy to disprove, even from the naked eye or experiencing them in real life, that it doesn't make that big of a difference. Now, if you're not good at growing organic, which is fine, you're not going to get as good of a product. If you're not good at using synthetic, that's fine. Or if you just plain don't want to, that's fine. You're probably going to get a worse product if you don't know how to grow either one. So use whichever you are most confident with, and you will get the good results. Whichever you know more about, whichever you have practiced with before, you're going to get the better results. Just use what is good for you, and you will get great results, and they will be identical as long as your balance is there. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you got any value out of this video, please leave a like. If you thought that or still think organics are better than synthetic, let me know why in the comments section below. Let me know what you use, and also drop some recipes down below for either synthetic or organic, and let us know what you've been doing. So without further ado, thank you very much for joining me. I'll see you next time.